Di tengah maraknya wabah virus corona atau COVID-19 yang menjadi perbincangan di beberapa wilayah negara termasuk Indonesia, ada beberapa tips yang dapat kita lakukan untuk mengantisipasi penyebaran virus. Selalu terapkan etika menutup mulut atau hidung saat batuk dan bersin dengan menggunakan tisu atau sapu tangan saat berada di tempat umum. Lalu, buanglah sampah tisu bekas pakai ke dalam tempat sampah tertutup. Yang paling penting, biasakan cuci tangan dengan menggunakan sabun dan air mengalir setelah melakukan kegiatan apapun. Jika tidak tersedia air, kita juga dapat menggunakan cairan pembersih tangan yang mengandung alkohol 70 hingga 80%. Jika merasakan gejala seperti demam tinggi dan batuk secara berkala, jangan segan untuk mengecek kesehatan di tempat pelayanan kesehatan terdekat. Dan jangan lupa gunakan masker untuk mengurangi penyebaran penyakit kepada orang di sekitar. Tak hanya tentang COVID-19, melakukan cek kesehatan secara rutin juga dapat membantu kita memahami kondisi tubuh, serta pencegahannya dari berbagai macam penyakit. Jika sedang sakit, kurangi aktivitas di luar rumah untuk beristirahat dan membatasi kontak dengan orang lain. Jangan lupa berikan informasi kepada dokter dan tenaga kesehatan mengenai riwayat perjalanan. Yuk bijak menggunakan sosial media dengan tidak menyebarkan berita hoax tanpa sumber yang terpercaya. Lindungi privasi pasien dan saling mengingatkan untuk perangi virusnya, bukan pasiennya.
To the new normal, what can we then push for behavioral changes within the Jakarta residents to continue for them to understand the necessity to stay healthy, to stay sanitized. I think that would be very, very important and very critical to really mitigate ourselves against future pandemics such as this. In Oliver Indonesia, of course, we have lots of products that supports the sanitation and hygiene. And in support of that, we also have lots of education materials that we could really help to help change the behaviors of the communities in general. I'd be interested in your input and your feedback and your plans for the future and how we can prepare ourselves much better to mitigate ourselves from such pandemic in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Ade. Perhaps why don't we do this? Let's collect some of the comments and then I'll respond. All at the same time, so that we'll take it one by one. Thank you, Ibu Ade. Lynn, I saw your hand raised earlier. Lynn Newman.
Thank you, Governor. It's nice to see you, and hope you're keeping healthy and well.
Thank you.
I would say on behalf of AmCham Indonesia, we've been impressed with your leadership and your willingness to confront this tragic situation head on, and we appreciate it. Of course, like everyone, a lot of our companies are involved in various relief efforts, and we will certainly publicize the initiatives that we've heard about today. I have two questions. One is, do you think that the social distancing measures nationwide are sufficient to slow the spread of the virus? Number two relates to Mudik. Do you have a sense of how many people have already gone on Mudik from Jakarta? And is the shutdown of transportation effective enough to prevent others from going? So those are my two questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate that. We'll respond definitely. And thank you for also spreading many of our publications and translating our publications. So Lynn Newman, we truly appreciate your effort. Because many of, this was happening last month. when we had a lot of publications all in Bahasa Indonesia, and we need to reach the international community here in Jakarta. And then AmCham, with your leadership, helped to translate many of these materials. So truly appreciate Pak. Okay, next, if you have other.
Morning, Mr. Governor, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't see your face yet. Let's see.
Sorry. I wanted to ask a question.
Sure.
I echo everyone's incredible support of your leadership. With respect to trying to reinforce that leadership and the rules, anecdotally, I've seen several construction sites in my neighborhood when I walk my dog where the workers aren't wearing masks, they're congregating together, they are, sharing cups of coffee and cigarettes and doing things that we know are dangerous. And additionally, I've seen a major uptick in the amount of trash being burned, which represents a respiratory threat as well as a public safety threat. Recognizing we want to keep solid social cohesion and not escalate any conflicts, but how if a resident of Jakarta sees someone violating your protocols, which are outstanding, how should we respond to that? What would your advice be of dealing with those sorts of non-compliance events? Thank you again for the call, and thank you for your leadership, sir.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, we'll provide the answers to that. Thank you for paying attention to those issues. And indeed, in a large populations like Jakarta, we are seeing quite a large variance in terms of compliance to the social distancing measures. Okay, next.
Hello, Mr. Ramis.
Yes.
Natara here from Facebook. Om, how are you? Just a quick question, and thank you for bringing us together and for the very thorough presentation. You started off the presentation touching on the economic impact and largely hitting the small business communities that exist in Jakarta because of the pandemic of COVID. I want to hear your thoughts specifically on, maybe we can do this on a separate call, or feel free to kind of give us the overall highlight. Are there any specific activities that you are doing in terms of supporting the small business communities, or your thinking is more directed towards, providing some of these cash grant support directly for communities of Jakarta? Thank you.
Yes, Governor Anis, my name is John Snack, I'm Commissioner of two public companies here, one in shipping, one in property and hotels. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I also echo what Tom Lembach said, that you took the initiative way back, before the central government started to impose restrictions. You started shouting for it. And we heard those shouts, and we know that you in DKI were the first to take the lead. Now my question really is, Alice, that was 2 months ago. 2 months ago we started to see the first deaths. Now statistically, and my simple question is going to be, when are you going to take the lead to open up and get back to business, get back to work and allow people to go out and work instead of getting free handouts and so on? It's causing the Jakarta population tremendous difficulty. And it's destroying businesses, companies' livelihoods every single day. So my question really is, when are you going to, what is the science? You mentioned the science, Alice. What is the science that will allow you to reverse your position and start shouting that we have to get back to business, we have to get back to work to save Jakarta, to save Indonesia? Now, statistically, we look at these statistics every day, they're circulated a lot amongst the expatriate community anyway. At the moment, we've got less than 4,000 deaths that are attributed to COVID in DKI. We have, in the last 4 or 5 days, almost a decline in the number of deaths. It's in the numbers of 20, 25, 7, very low if we look statistically internationally, and please do not take this lightly. Any single death is an absolute tragedy. But if you add the payday pay numbers in DKI, I don't know what they are, probably about 10,000 or more, that are people who you think have got COVID, to the numbers that are confirmed. You've got about 14 or 15,000 people in a population, of which about less than 400 are died. So my wonder is, at what stage are you going to stop forcing everybody to sit at home, forcing companies to stop work, sending out bureaucrats all over the place to close down businesses and offices and so on, putting the police and the military on toll roads and all these sort of things that are happening because of this. At what stage will the science allow you to reverse that position? Thank you, Parliament.
Thank you, John Speck. I'm welcoming more comments or questions. Okay, as we waited, if there's any other comments, allow me to respond to some of these comments. We appreciate your participations and your questions. And let me start with who had let's look beyond this pandemic. What will be the behavioral change? And of course, we will be entering new normal. I think many articles have been written on this subject. Every pandemic it is an interruptions in the history of humanity, and after that we will have a new way of working, new way of doing things, and new way of perhaps socializing and things like that. So, but I think it's also important to note that when you are in Jakarta, all of us here, we sense that people generally understand what the pandemic is, generally understand, and that can be seen by the fact that face mask is being worn many places, and most people now are wearing a face mask, and that's a sign. It is one sign that people pay attention. And if you look at public transport, our data shows that it drops 88%. So only 12% of the population of the passengers is using public transport compared to the month before COVID-19. And same thing with private vehicles. It dropped more than half, which shows behavioral change, complying to the rules, but also understanding the risk of this pandemic. But if you look at places outside Jakarta area, I'm actually concerned that the fact that many cities that have already had positive cases, the public generally were still behave as if they're not facing a possible crisis because of the pandemic. So that's also one thing that we need to keep in mind, that not only behavioral change after the crisis, but in fact during the crisis. And after this, I think we will have to see, as you know, new normal, which we have to find out kind of new normal, but I do hope that number one, health is becoming something of priorities to everyone, and perception about risk need to be evaluated, because many of us have a different perceptions about what is called risk. And now through coronavirus's problems, we definitely see a new risk that was often overlooked. So let's observe that what's been going on later on. Lingkungan with regard to social distancing measure is sufficient across Indonesia. In general, mobility of Indonesians is generally low. It's in the cities. So I think if we adopted strict measures in the urban areas, we will be able to sort of contain the spread of the virus. If we limit ourselves, and I think strict measures, just like what we have adopted here in Jakarta, if that is being adopted in major cities that have heavy traffics with Jakarta, I think it may help to contain or to control the spread of the virus. But it will not be enough, just social distancing measures. I think we need a more stricter approach. However, as you know that the directions that has been taken is more on the massive, large-scale social distancing. So with that approach, we try our best to make sure that we can control, and we'll see, based on Jakarta experience, how good this is going to provide us the result. How many people have left Jakarta? Let me check the number, but if I'm not mistaken, it's about 1.6, around 1.6 million. 1.6 million have left the city, and that's about 16% of the populations. Now, Scott, if you see any violations or things that you need to report, call 112. So it's not 911, but 112. You report to 112, and we'll take the report and make a follow-up. You can also take pictures. You can post it. You can send it. I think we have about seven channels of reporting. All 12 channels of reporting, in which you can text us. You can even tweet it, and we'll read your tweet. Just mention Jakarta government, and then we'll follow up. And we have citizen response management, CRM, and our CRM is very active. So if you see anything that is not doing right, just report it to us through all channels. We're reading all channels. We have people monitoring social media, monitoring our WhatsApp, monitoring our 112, that's the phone number, and we'll respond right away. And then Ruben, on the micro business supports, right now so far we're paying much more attention to making sure that food supplies to the needy is there. I think once we are seeing pick up or return to normal, for sure we are going with the bid which is we're now undergoing. We relax taxes, and the Bank of Jakarta is also providing leniency toward their customer whenever their inability to pay their debt, and we will do all possible measures from taxes to incentive for the micro businesses and small businesses to come back to work. sounds like, but what about the SPB? When are we going to go back to normal? You know, this is a $1 billion questions, which we can provide an answer. If we have an answer to these questions, we would be home free by now. But it's still something that we need to observe. But my sense is this: once we are seeing not only plateauing, but as a decline of positive cases, a decline of case mortality cases. The number that we are seeing today reflect our policy 2 weeks ago. There's always a lag, at least 2 weeks. So if we are seeing plateauing today, and in the next 2 weeks, we are not only seeing plateauing, but we are seeing a decline, then we may be looking for an exit to this period. And we do hope that. And number two, what we're now doing is we're increasing our testing capacity. And we're doing tracing. We have been doing tracing. And then those that have possibility of getting infected are being isolated. So if that is happening, then in the epidemiology, those experts were saying if the number of people infected is small, then those who are infected is being quarantined. But if those who are infected is large, then the non-infected is being quarantined. I think that's where we are today, because of those who are infected in terms of numbers were large in unknown places, then everyone is quarantined. But I think we're doing this both, seeing the trend and then doing the testing and then isolating those that turn out to be positive but has no symptoms, especially because those are often the dangerous one, and those that need hospitalization to provide the hospital. So those two we're being monitored, and if the PDP going down, case mortality rate is going down, then we will go back to normal. So, and we hope that soon. But also, John, and I think everyone is monitoring not only news from Jakarta. I think all of you are monitoring news across the globe. And same as us here, we're monitoring what is going on in Spain, we're monitoring what's going on in Italy, in Britain, in the US, in Korea, and we are also trying to sense when those countries started to relax some of the restrictions. Lesson learned from those countries were going to be used for us here to make decisions. And I think that's what also has been doing, have been doing in the past. If I may say, some of the reason why we move fast here in Jakarta is because we studied what is going on in China, in Korea, in Japan, in Italy. I mean, all of that from monitoring from January, and a lot of lessons to be learned. And we do hope also monitoring this from other countries with regard to the exit from this massive social distancing measures. I think I have responded to most of the questions, and if there's any other comments, but again, with regard to our programs, there is one question on when this will start. Let me check just a minute. This is starting as of now. It is already, the template itself is ready, and this is, you can actually go online and start seeing this program, but also we are helped by Pak Wijayanto to discuss further if you want to have a modified approach to our program. And allow me to explain to you that if we do this right, if we support those in need in the next few weeks during the PSBB period, and Jakarta is calm because people were well fed, even though they're not working, we can come back stronger as a city. And the reason why we'd like you to pick the hamlets, the orphanage, is this is an opportunity for us to bring all of us much closer, to build a bridge to work together. And in the past, when we were in our normal, we don't interact one another, especially with those communities. We all are focused on our orbital. And then suddenly we have social distancing measures. And we try to convert these social distancing measures into social solidarity measures. And that's why we created this platform, so that you can actually see which hamlet you're helping, which family you're helping, the impact of your help in their livelihood, and also for them to see that we are being helped by these companies that often or never appear in their mind. So we would like to set up the templates, not us being forefront and them seeing us providing support, even though the support were coming from families. We would like to make it more like a collaborations. So you help those families, those neighborhood, and the neighborhood also understand that these are which companies we're helping. And we do hope that from this crisis, we can have a stronger social solidarity in this city. So that's also some of our aim. So the system is already up and running, and we're happy to share some of the, not some, but all the slides. All the slides we will share that, and we'll have it distributed right away, right after this meeting. Okay? I'd like to invite Vice Governor Riza. This is his second week on duty. So I'm welcoming Pak Riza. Please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much for attending the meeting. We really appreciate your support to DKI Jakarta, because I realize a good attention will get a good result. We can collaborate, inshallah, about the issue of the health. We need more support for our health facility, and I hope the collaboration can support as many people in Jakarta, especially impact of the COVID-19. We need each other to handle COVID-19. As a direct to Mr. Governor, I hope we can collaborate together. Stay home, stay at home, stay healthy. Thank you for the support and the constructive idea, and we're really looking forward to have good cooperation with you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Wagub. Yes, indeed.
sama dia, Bu.
Assalamualaikum
Pak Kocham, you raise your hand.
Yes, again, Pak Anies and Pak Reza. So this time, I will strictly with 5 questions. I'm general manager from the company consulting at Jakarta. Representative from Korean Chamber. Hope you hear my voice.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. The point 1. Related with the implementation for SPP, one of the policy of the DKI Jakarta regional government temporarily closed list of disease. Of course, this has an impact on the employee. Whenever DKI Jakarta government is willing to guarantee employee salary, plus avoid a massive layoff. For example, like this government is guaranteeing 50% of employee salary, and that's some other as a sample for South Korea and the Seoul province to the company for until 5 million won, around 60 million, and then other for the employee support until 67% of the salary with 3 months support. This is point 1. And then point 2. What is the compensation or stimulus given by DKI Jakarta government to have a business still running and not close their business activity with consideration? Point 1. The stimulus must be fair with the consideration of the type of the business. Then the second point, the stimulus given is also adjust the interest of the entrepreneur. For example, maybe a government provide relief or soft loan with the interest business people to have the PMDN and PMR. And the third reason, what about the tourist sector, hotel and travel agent, who are directly affected of the corona economy, as well as a SBB policy, so that companies stop completely this condition resulting in the loss of the company revenue. What concrete assistance we provide from the DKI Jakarta regional government to the company so that we can survive? And then the third point, does the DKI Jakarta government have a plan to provide incentive to PMR company investing in area Jakarta that are the impact of the COVID-19? And then the last answer, can our company or site it as good a sector continue to the good business activity during the SPP with a limited number of the staff? Because when the extension of the SPP policy to 22 May, it would be very burdensome for the business sector. The need to be able to have limited activity. As I mentioned, it's very important for us to prepare fully operation after dismissal for the SPP. Is that any like that with the policy? It's related with the government bank policy and the trading company seal. It's a 5 point. Thank you, Anies.
Thank you. And lagi? Okay.
Selamat pagi Pak Anies, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Saya it's good to see you again Pak. It's Landry from Yes ASEAN Business Council Pak. Terima kasih sekali lagi Pak Anies atas thank you very much for your very kind invitations and the opportunity Pak extended to all of us here. And I hope it's not too late for us as well to again congratulate Pak Wakil Gubernur for the appointment. We all support you here, Pak. Congratulations. Pak Anies, on your last note, I just used to echo everyone else here before me to lend our support to you, very strong support, Pak, and thank you for the leadership provided in this very difficult and testing time, Pak. But I like your last point about turning the distancing, social distancing into social collaboration, Pak. And not only Jakarta to bounce back, but also to bounce forward, Pak. So on forward is the key here. And I think based on that, my request is very simple. I would humbly request you to always provide time. Maybe you can set up regular meeting like this, a town hall meeting with you, because your leadership provide confidence, just like anyone else, and also certainty. In time like this, certainty is very. And having, of course, we would love to work with more people and more your team, especially Pak Wija here. Thank you for the patience extended. But again, perhaps having this regular town hall in the next couple of weeks or months will be very critical. That's my humble request to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andri. Good to see you again, although it's long distance. Now, Pak Heru, these are important questions and needs to be addressed, and I think we need a separate session on this. This is an area in which many of you have interest, but I think it's not fair if we talk about a stimulus to business for tourism, hotels, and then support to companies that face layoff. And let's, as Pak Landry mentioned earlier, I'm happy to schedule a specific meeting on these more sectoral issues so that we can discuss that in a thorough way rather than responding in a general way. One, we have the data, we have the technical policies people, and we'll have them come on board and discuss with all of you. And we don't pretend to have every answers to every questions, but we can assure you that we're willing to listen and we're willing to shop for ideas. We're shopping ideas. And you have suggestions, if you think there is a great approach being adopted in some other places that Jakarta needs to adopt, we have an open-minded approach in this in the city. So we would like to discuss this in a more specific manner. So let's schedule that. And as Landry mentioned earlier, I'm happy to have a community town hall meeting like this, and when we can have a subject-specific discussions, or we can have a more general discussions. But I'd like to answer everyone here that the city government never sleeps. It operates 24 hours a day. Even though we are in these social distancing measures, everyone else can perhaps work from home. But in fact, on the left-hand side of where I sit, we have people actually here listening to our conversations. Those are the team who are actually, I'm turning, we're turning the camera so you can see some of the people who are here. And so many people are actually monitoring, and some are monitoring in a long distance, and the camera stops there. Otherwise, you would have seen more people in the camera. But the idea is, again, we would like to make sure that the residents of Jakarta, some are migrants from outside the city, but some are expats who are not only visiting, but who have lived here, and maybe some of you have felt that this is your home, and you'd like to make sure that you're comfortable in this home. That's our commitment. And we do hope that, as I mentioned last week, when we meet with the national business leaders, last week I made a call to our national business leaders, and I called them for, let's help, not coming to help Jakarta. Yes, we are facing challenge, but my call to everyone is, let's pay back to Jakarta. Jakarta have given you so much. Your company have grown so much, and this has provided great markets. This is where investment, where opportunity make result. And now the city is facing its challenging times. It is facing one of the most difficult challenges in the past few decades. Now our call is for everyone to pay back. let's pay back to Jakarta. Let's help those who are in need. Let's make sure those who are facing the hardest challenge is able to survive. Many of us have savings on our account, but those people, they have no savings at all. And without our help, they will not survive. So our call today, as it was last week, is for all of us. Let's take this as an honor, as a duty, that we help each other and we make sure that everyone survive. And as we talked about it earlier, we will not come back to the old Jakarta. We will be seeing new Jakarta, and we do hope the new Jakarta is the better Jakarta. And we do hope that the new Jakarta is a Jakarta with feeling of solidarity. Coming out of this social distancing, we will be stronger as a community because we're doing solidarity through this kind of project. So again, let me end this by saying thank you very much for the participation, for the support, and look forward for further conversations, and we'll definitely arrange the time. And we appreciate the help for everyone that organized this meeting, Pak Tom, Ibu Sinta, and all of you who are here, and inviting friends, colleagues to be part of these sessions, and look forward that this does not end up only in the files of our computer, but this will end up in the families across Jakarta that need helps. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.